been hearing a lot, no doubt, of Ordinary World on your radio. That single, in case you've forgotten, is by Duran Duran, and they join us via satellite in Toronto right now. Gentlemen?
We should introduce ourselves, in case you've forgotten what we look like. I'm Simon.
I'm John.
Last time we talked, around 1988, I find it kind of humorous that your record company, the first line in your latest bio, as a matter of fact, says, yes, they're still a band. Do you still think this is a comeback, and people are calling it that? How do you feel about it?
If people want to call it a comeback, let them call it a comeback. You know?
Actually, somebody said to me today that, well, Duran Duran's made like 3 comebacks in the last 5 years. And I said, well, yeah, they might have been billed as that, but as to all intents and purposes, the last 2 really sank without a trace. If there is a comeback, then this is it.
How different a feeling is it now, being on top of the charts, as opposed to the early days when it seemed to be you were on top of the charts with one record after another? Is it a little more satisfying now?
Well, it's not so much because they were happening one after another like that. It's really because in the 4 years since, since Seventh Ragged Tiger, Notorious, since then, we've had some really lean times. It's been hard. And any little bit of success that we do get now, we cherish it. It's very important to us.
Duran Duran has got an impressive track record of #1 singles and has seen huge album sales and so on, but most of this happened at prime time for growing up for you, you and the entire band. You spent that time living in a fishbowl.
Yeah, we sacrificed ourselves.
Yeah.
So everybody else could have a good time, ain't that? Well, it's payback time now.
Yeah, but that fishbowl got put on a couple of nice mantelpieces, you know.
How is it possible to come out of all that with your sanity? I mean, is it possible to be normal again?
I think you'd be surprised if you're into what you're doing. I mean, we always had the purpose of music, and that was really the thing. That was the rhythm that we always had going on. That was the thing that carried us through. All the stuff that was flying around, it didn't really affect us because we had this concentration.
What's been the biggest change in Duran Duran since the early days?
Well, obviously there was a big change when Andy Taylor and Roger Taylor left the band. I mean, Andy we missed because he was an incredible musician and brought a lot to the writing quorum. But you know, at the same time, that enabled us to work with other people like Nile Rodgers and Steve Ferrone and Warren. And you know, I talked to Gary Kemp from Spandau Ballet, and he's like, they're so envious of us because they're still playing with the same people. You know, they have to, if they're going to make a record, they're going to make it with the same lineup, and they've kind of, you know, they've done just about everything they feel they can do. With us, we can still work with different drummers, we can work with different producers.
Well, let's get to the album now, self-titled. This is your finest record, at least I believe that anyways, that you've done in quite some time. It seems to me you've got a youthful spark back in this band. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah. Well, you know, we knew we had to make a record that had an impact to it, you know. And we're lucky that ourselves, working together with Nick Rhodes and Warren Cucurullo, we found a chemistry on this new record. And in the main, it was a lot of fun to make. We took a lot of time over it, built our own studio in the process. But I don't know.